All right. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
We haven't vlogged about our basement build in a bit. So actually a lot has happened. We have basement stairs. The electrical is I don't know, 80% done. So we had an electrical inspection on Friday and it passed. So now we are ready to put up drywall. So what is this called? An ICF foundation? So we have an ICF foundation, but we still decided to put wood studs and run our electrical through here because we live in a very cold province and I think it would just be an absolute mistake to kind of cut into the ICF because that is your insulation. So this is what we've got going so far. The other thing that we have decided is we are going to paint the ceiling black. We've seen a bunch of YouTubers who have painted the ceiling black and it looks really great. Well, I mean, we think. And so rather than put a drop ceiling, because our boys are really tall, rather than put a drop ceiling or drywall the ceiling, we're gonna try doing painting it black. We do know that it supposedly can make your basement feel like the roof is absorbing the light, but I still think it looks really cool. All right, so this is our oldest son's bedroom. This is where all the drywall is being stored. Drywall goes up tomorrow, or starts going up tomorrow. And then that right there, that's the pipe for the sump pit. And this is the sump pit right here. So that pipe goes out that wall and then the road is out there. So there's two big windows and like, check this out. There's such a nice sunset every day. So there's just beautiful sun streaming through here. So this is our first room. The electrical is ready to have the drywall put up. And then this right here, this is our family room. And I love this. I love this because I was the one who did it. We put a laser level up and I drilled all these holes and then ran this wire. That was my Sunday afternoon jobs for a bit. So I'm really proud of myself for helping out with the electrician and Justin. That was my job. So this is our basement kind of living area. We have up there, we have TV support. So in case we want to put the TV on that side, there's a plug right up there. And then we have a plug right here in case we want to put a projector TV. That's going to be a hole for a light, kind of like that. We decided, okay, so for sure you can do drywall holes, but we are going to go with these plywood so that sometimes drywall kind of flakes off over time, so we don't want that. So we're gonna do this plywood instead, and then when that's painted black, it's gonna look nice. Then we also put a TV mount up here, just in case we wanna change the TV over to here, over to there, or whether we wanna have a projector wall. So that is this room. And then our washer and dryers. And then Justin's gonna explain this room because there's a lot going on in this room.
All right, what do you want to know?
Oh, walk people through it.
Okay, so that's our big shut off for the furnace.
Why do we have that?
Well, because the furnace is not in a direct path to the breaker panel, which is way over that side. So because you don't pass the panel on your way to the furnace, you need to have a big shut off. So that's that big thing.
And if we had designed the basement differently, we wouldn't have needed this. So this was an added expense, but I think in the end it worked out because of our floor plan.
Yeah, worked out.
Okay, this is the big furnace.
All utility, furnace there. That's your HRV there.
What's an HRV?
It takes humidity out of your house in the winter when you don't get like frost on your windows and stuff. And it takes stale air out and brings fresh air in.
What I really like is you're 6'1" and you can still walk underneath
Yeah,
this.
that's the high ceiling, so you can still, it doesn't take up all that space.
And then, so this right here is the drain for the HRV.
Yeah, because it gets moisture, so it takes moisture out of there. We can actually see the water.
There's
That's
actually
taking
draining
it out
down.
of your house. And it drains.
So it's neat that we pre-planned that so the drain, like it doesn't have to go to the ground and to...
Yeah, our plumber planned all that out so that you don't have hoses laying on the ground. Same with the furnace. It takes moisture out, so it has its own drain that goes into the floor. So again, you don't have to have hoses laying on the floor.
Yeah, that was pretty great that that's all pre-planned. And then these were sticking up. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, like this. It was like that, but they get cut down to the floor. So that's a floor drain. So if for whatever reason your hot water tank leaks or you have a water line that breaks, you have a drain to collect it.
Right.
And these are just covers, so they're backwater valves under here, so that if whatever reason water comes backwards, there's a valve in the ground and it doesn't come up into your basement.
That's fantastic. And then what's everything going on in here?
In-floor heat will go on this wall, on the plywood wall. These are all your lines that are in the concrete floor. And then your boiler will be here, and then there's like some plumbing pipes that make up like a manifold, so that it takes the hot water, circles it into the floor, and then it comes back colder than when it went in, so then it goes back into the boiler, and it goes back down and just keeps circulating over and over.
Right. And then there's going to be this water softener right here.
Yeah, so the water softener will go here because it has to drain as well. So it's going to go here so that when it cycles, it's got a drain right there. So you, again, don't have to have hoses on the ground.
So this is really great that all this stuff was pre-planned, so everything's kind of tucked in a corner, and it makes a lot of sense.
Hot water tank will go here.
Yeah.
This is your water, actually our main water coming from the well. So that's, you can turn that handle on and you have water.
Oh gosh, okay, good to know.
You don't touch it.
And then this right here, this is the main drains from the bathrooms upstairs.
Yeah, so the sinks, the laundry room, the bathtub, all drains through here.
And then the other cool thing is if we go like this, you can see that it's pulling the pipes from there's a butler's kitchen over there, the actual kitchen, and there's a bathroom way over there. And they're all linked up and using gravity, obviously, to pull the water to where we want it. Awesome. And then there is going to be a washing machine and a dryer.
Dryer there, washing machine there.
And then here is where pre-planning was key. So this right here is the vanity is going to be out here. Yeah, so the mirror. And then the sink, vanity. There's going to be some shelving right here for the boys for like towels and stuff. And then walking into this room, this is the toilet. And then Justin can explain, right, what's this stuff?
So this will be for the steam room. So that's your power for your steam generator. It just sits on the floor. This is the water line that goes into the steam generator. It sits like here. It's about like that big.
It's fantastic.
And then when it's in, then you put your steam vent in here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And then it fills your room with steam.
So the vent is right there, and then the bench for sitting is right here.
This will be a drain. We just don't know which one we're using yet. That's why we put this big piece of foam so that we can put whatever size and style drain you want, and then you just fill around it with concrete.
And this whole room is going to be nicely tiled. And it has a drop ceiling. So this is where we're actually going to put what kind of board?
Cement board.
Cement board.
It'll be totally waterproof. And then this is your shower control, so you'll have a shower here.
So then the blue is cold water and the red is hot water.
Usually.
That's super fun. Yeah, and then we're thinking glass door right here.
Glass door.
Yeah. Opening this way.
Because it's a steam room, it'll be like tight to the top and tight to the bottom, so that all your steam doesn't just escape through your door.
The coolest thing was this window wasn't supposed to be here, but it is. So when you're using the steam room and you're done, you could potentially just open up the window a little bit.
Yep.
To help vent it out. And now over to here, here's another bedroom. And it's pretty big. But all the plugs are done. The switches, there's a three-way switch. And still, like, I don't know what time it is, but it's sunset time, and there's still so much beautiful light coming through these windows. So what we have left to do is put the drywall up, mud and tape, paint, and then trim, and doors, and then we can move in. Well, and then we have to turn the water on.
Yeah, so once the drywall's done, then we can put the hot water tank and the water softener in, and then hopefully some of that stuff can happen at the same time. So we can paint and wire in all your plugs and all your switches, install all your lights in the ceiling.
Right, there's actually quite a bit still to go.
The big thing, once the drywall's in, then we can work on all of those things
Right.
simultaneously. You could be mudding and taping one room, installing lights in another room, maybe hooking up the water in the utility room.
Do you think we're about like 3 weeks out from living here, or 4 weeks out?
Yeah, 3 or 4 probably. I'd say by the end of March we should be done.
Well, that's exciting.
Should be.
All right, stay tuned for more.